So in this video, I am going to be handing off my dark thoughts, my sick, dark, twisted thoughts, my ruminations. I'm gonna hand those off to you, and you're gonna hold them for me, okay? Because you're not sleeping tonight. So originally, this was gonna be 100 dark thoughts, but I lowered it to 50 because I don't want to lose a potential friend. Number 1, dragons aren't real. Sorry. Number 2, golf is. Number 3, it takes a lot of failure to reach success. Most people just kind of give up. 4, how many people do you think United States presidents have killed? Like combined. Think about it. 5, several people still remember embarrassing things that you've done. Things that you've just kind of waved off and been like, I know one's going to remember that 2 weeks from now. It's been 7 years. We all remember. Number 6, there are people who genuinely think that Aaron Yeager did nothing wrong. Number 7, there is a really cool looking skeleton that lives in you, but you'll never get to meet him. Number 8, humans might actually taste good. At least I think I might. I'm been trying to be more of a vegetarian recently, so that hopefully would enhance my flavor, but every now and again I slip up and I eat a Slim Jim, for not because I like them, but because to commemorate Macho Man Randy Savage. I would at least be top 2 best tasting humans in our species. I would think. 9, microplastics. 10, most British people will never experience Cajun food. 11, if a British person tries Cajun food, they will forget their accent and they will lose their elven charm. 12, there may be no alternative to the economic system of capitalism. Now, I know what you're thinking. There are plenty of alternatives to capitalism that have happened throughout history. Sure, but ultimately capitalism has taken root in our world in a way unforeseen. It is ubiquitous. And there's a great book called Capitalist Realism by a guy named Mark Fisher that I think you should check out. If you like feeling like shit, you should read his book. Basically, it's saying that capitalism has sunk so deeply into our reality that the effects can't be undone. So it's like the ultimate, like, holy shit, we're fucked kind of book. And it really doesn't make you feel good. And it really kills your hopes in only about 80 or 90 pages. It's very, very small. It's a tiny book. You should read it. And then weep. 13, the vast majority of revolutions fail. Also, most revolutions are fought to enfranchise disenfranchised people, poor people. And it just so happens that when revolutions fail, a lot of poor people are disproportionately affected by the war and the fallout and everything that's caused by the war. Not literal fallout, not like nuclear fallout, but like the political fallout, the turmoil. Poor people are disproportionately affected. So, revolutions are waged to enfranchise the disenfranchised, but ultimately, when almost all revolutions fail, the disenfranchised are the ones who suffer great, great, great pain. 14. In the United States, there are many workplaces with a restrictive dress code and snarky management to enforce it. 15. You will be sick again. You don't know where, you don't know when, you don't know for how long, you don't know with what, but you will be sick again. 16. A third of all women get cancer, and half of all men get cancer. 17. You are not the chosen one, but you'll never accept that. 18. It's difficult to find authentic Middle Eastern music. A lot of what Westerners consider Middle Eastern music is actually just a mixture of different Middle Eastern instruments plus Western music theory. Faria Faraji, Farya, Faraji, him on YouTube. He has a great video about how Middle Eastern music is like not a thing in the West, where like you have to dig to find it, you have to know where to look, which is really, really sad because it's really good. 18. There are many men out there who dry shave their genitals. Sorry, that was 19, not 18. I don't know what I said. So now I'm going to share a couple of intrusive thoughts. 20. What if I folded up my grandma's hospital bed while she was inside of it? 21. What if I pushed my nephew off a cliff? I don't have a nephew, but sometimes I get confused, you know. 22. What if I get pulled over by a cop and I get out of the car and he asks me for my ID? Well, usually you're in the car. Anyway, he asks me for my ID, and as I reach to get my ID, I accidentally misclick and get out of the car and German suplex him on the highway, and then his buddy gets out of his car and comes up and asks me, hey, what's going on here? 23. Everyone is looking at you. 24. When you fart in public, everyone knows it's you. We all know it's you, even if it's silent, even if it doesn't stink. We know who did it. 25. Your friends don't actually care about your favorite movie or your favorite song. 26. On average, you will walk past 40 murderers in your life. 27. There is no adequate solution to climate change that humans could employ at this point. It is simply too late, and the world is not organized in such a way to respond to a threat like that. Yeah. So that is something that you and your kids and your grandkids will have to figure out. Not how to fix, just how to deal with it. It's going to cause, mass migration and a lot of economic problems, plenty of political problems that would also be incited because of that. Yeah, but I'm not thinking about that tonight. This is on you. You can think about it. 28. About 40% of men aged 18 to 24 years old do not know where the clitoris is. Bonus, I am 24 years old. 29. It can cost up to $20,000 to have a baby in the United States. Like if your insurance sucks, which a lot of people have pretty sucky insurance, so yeah. Imagine having like triplets. That's $60K out the fucking window. That's crazy. 30. It takes about 10 years for an author to get their book published. Sorry to all the writers out there, myself included. 31. It takes about 10 years to gain mastery in a new skill. 32. There are 2,500 languages that either are extinct or are about to go extinct. 25% of the world lives without electricity. Also, That was 33, I think. That was 33. 34. There are 800 million illiterate adults in the world. 35. I gotta read it off my phone, I'm sorry. Right off the script, if you will, straight from the horse's mouth. I'm the horse. Nay. Sorry. 35. There is research that demonstrates the more a person hears an opinion, the more likely they are to begin to believe it, even if the opinion is not based in reality. This is why online echo chambers and the lack of diverse voices can be a real issue for people. So yeah, you hear one opinion, it could be bullshit, but if you hear it long enough, naturally, it's gonna stick. Scary. 36. Social media has stronger links to depression and loneliness than to feelings of fulfillment. 37. Between 60 and 70% of Americans want to get rid of the Electoral College. However, there is no widespread support among politicians that would dismantle the Electoral College. So people are basically going to have to keep voting within this system that is deeply unpopular for the foreseeable future because the people in charge do not want to restructure it. 38. The humanities are being defunded across America. Resources are being reallocated to STEM, and here's the part that actually sucks: athletics. So hit especially hard are the disciplines that elevate critical thinking and impart sociocultural enrichment into their students. So those are disciplines like history, philosophy, psych, sociology, art, music, literature, and education. I'm a teacher, so I had to mention my job once. 39. You will never get to meet a living dinosaur. What's your favorite dinosaur? Cool. It doesn't matter. Yeah, he's dead. 40. The villains never think that they're the villains. Think about it. If you were wrong, would you actually be able to take accountability and responsibility for your actions? Do you even know how to do that? If you answered yes, then you're a liar. Pop music as an industry is fed on newfound voices, styles, and sounds from communities across the globe. However, in order for newly discovered genres to be made into pop, the genre must be trimmed down to only its most key parts. Perhaps it is a vocal style, the use of a certain instrument, or an aesthetic. Just one or two signature parts of the genre is all that that's needed to make pop music emulative. That emulates the genre, right? So pop fuses with the original genre and makes this genre trendy. The original genre is brought out of its tiny little corner where it started, and now everyone knows about it and knows that it's capable of making money. More musicians flock to this slimmed down version of the original genre, this pop version, and they manipulate it further as well, which in turn makes it more trendy, more unrecognizable, and more profitable when compared to the original genre. So that process of it becoming more unrecognizable and different and more pop friendly. It effectively pushes musicians out of the original genre because the market is cornered. Who wants to hear the authentic practitioners of the original genre, even if they are new musicians in that genre? No one wants to hear them. They don't make money or anything like that because we have this trimmed version, this pop version that is ultimately going to be more commercially successful. It's very unfortunate. But essentially this is how pop music cannibalizes its muses, and it happens all the time. 42. You think cigarettes smell good, right? 43. Horses are no longer a viable transportation option. And that sucks. 44. You're probably addicted to your phone. 45. Reading as an act of artistic consumption is becoming increasingly rare. Reading as a practice sort of got fucked when the TV was invented. And now, as social media and phones become ubiquitous, reading books has become even more rare. 46. 80% of people experience heartbreak. Mostly this is from romantic heartbreak, but heartbreak can arise from other sources that are not romantic in nature. 47. Time is widely recognized as the best cure for heartbreak. However, oftentimes grief or heartbreak, they kind of go together. Many times they never go away. Time isn't the cure because there is no cure. A lot of people go to the grave heartbroken. 48. About 10% of people experience sleep paralysis. So you might get lucky tonight. 49. You are more likely to have a nightmare falling asleep to this ASMR video as opposed to probably most other ASMR videos. Ooh, scary. The 50th entry is about the gradual loss of opportunity. As you get older, your prospects narrow. To take us home, I am going to read you what Sylvia Plath wrote about the gradual loss of opportunity. Okay? Check it out. It's her, it's Plath's fig tree, if you're familiar with the fig tree allegory. I saw my life branching out before me, like the green fig tree in the story. From the tip of every branch, like a fat purple fig, a wonderful future beckoned and winked. One fig was a husband and a happy home and children, and another fig was a famous poet, and another fig was a brilliant professor, and another fig was E.G., the amazing editor, and another fig was Europe, and Africa, and South America, and another fig was Constantine, and Socrates, and Attila, and a pack of other lovers with queer names and offbeat professions. And another fig was an Olympic lady crew champion, and beyond, above these figs, were many more figs I couldn't quite make out. I saw myself sitting in the crotch of this fig tree, starving to death, just because I couldn't make up my mind which of the figs I would choose. I wanted each and every one of them, but choosing one meant losing all the rest. And as I sat there, unable to decide, the figs began to wrinkle and go black. And one by one, they plopped to the ground at my feet. sitting there doing nothing, just being passive. I'm sure I will get a great night's sleep now once I go back up to bed. So, thank you. Have a good night. I'm assuming